and the witness would have been willing, the whistleblower would have been willing to do it, didn't want to, he doesn't want to.
But as a duty,
Yeah, and that's the thing, as a feeling of real duty, beyond what I think people understand. Yeah, he thinks it's important, man. So, he'd be willing to do it. And I think
wow,
you'll hear from him soon.
Jeremy.
So just saying, no, I can't predict the future for other people, but I'm just saying, I believe that you're going to be able to talk with this person on your own soon and judge it on merit.
All right, y'all. Documentary filmmaker and UFO researcher and journalist Jeremy Corbell just dropped some major news on a brand new interview from a little-known podcast called Others to Another Mother. All right, and it features a gentleman named Dan Cleary. We'll get into that in just a moment. First up, let's take a listen to Jeremy Corbell talking about this new whistleblower, okay, that had come out with a document called Immaculate Constellation, all right? And this was featured in the November hearings, okay, that took place in 2024, November, right, in the House, okay? And they brought out this Immaculate Constellation document, and there was a whole hoopla about it with Jeremy Corbell and this other journalist named Michael Schellenberger, right? And essentially, I've made several videos on it, but essentially, in a nutshell, Jeremy Corbell had brought this whistleblower report, they're calling it, right? Immaculate Constellation, that's the name of a alleged secret, UFO program, but basically. And he had brought it to Congress, right, to be featured in this hearing. Well, during the hearing, Nancy Mace says, no, hey, thank you, Schellenberger, for bringing this, right? And so nobody corrects the record. Jeremy doesn't get credit for bringing that report forward, and he feels like now he can't trust Congress, right? Well, that person who brought that report, okay, is allegedly going to be coming forward. And that's kind of a big deal because everybody's been wondering who this person is. And Jeremy is saying now that this person may be coming forward very soon, in fact, which is interesting. But look, before we get to that clip right there, here's a little backstory on this Schellenberger-Corbell document fiasco.
Michael Schellenberger did not deliver those documents to Congress for congressional record. I did. Why does that matter? Right? That's kind of the question. So I said, first, people are going to say it's my ego. We saw that within seconds. Then, they're going to say it was confusion. We saw that day.
Yeah.
The one that's coming is they're going to tell everybody, just tell a little lie to protect somebody. That's the one that's coming. I'll explain that to you on another podcast. But here's the fundamental truth. The fundamental truth is why this matters is that I saw at that moment that the control system, that all the king's horses, all the king's men, they're shaping the UAP narrative again. If you sit there and don't say, wait, no, that's not how it happened. That's what Schellenberger did, just sat there, right? Then all of a sudden you're going along with that egregious, it was like a very bizarre, she's boasting about these documents, right? But just not getting the basics right that she knows is a lie. I realized at that point, oh, I can't trust them. They're bought. They're bought. If they don't tell it like it is in this field, and you get a whistleblower saying, I'm going to protect you, right? Yeah. Then you've got a real problem moving forward, because then how can you tell somebody you're trustworthy? Right. The one superpower I have is somebody tell me not to say something, I don't say it. So that was like a very bizarre Twilight Zone, because I thought it was like a clerical error, just so simple. Somebody made a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. It is undeniably not a mistake. So why did they do that? I don't care what I think. Those are the facts. The night before, I showed the document to Schellenberger with somebody else and didn't let him have it.
And he had not seen the 11 pages. Yeah.
No. So he was conveyed a bunch of stuff for his article to write, which was great, right? But no, the actual document, that was something that was intentionally not given because we had set up for months that it would be reviewed and processed and it would go this way. So the actual physical thing, that's that was important. That was important because
chain of custody.
It is chain of custody. Yeah. It is chain of custody. But also it's just about who you can trust to be honest and to why would you change a small thing? Well, maybe what you're doing is you're positioning people. Later, brother, you leaving?
Yeah.
Take your blessing.
Later, buddy.
Maybe what you're doing is you're positioning people to be ordained to be the people that whistleblowers go to, right? But if you can't trust somebody, then, to tell it like it is and to protect your name, and that's what really rubbed me. We lost there. Nancy Mace, right? What was behind this hearing, in my opinion, was that they were trying to collect information and data and find out what people had, and they want to run it their way and shape it their own way. That's the problem.
All right, so there's 4 things that I took away from that clip. One is that guy leaving in the middle was hilarious. He was like, I've had enough of this, I'm out. 2 is Jeremy Corbell stating something that most of you probably didn't catch, but I'm going to get to it at the end of this video. So stay tuned, because I think it's actually pretty big news. 3rd thing, all right, is this him describing the documents and how that procedure, all went down with Schellenberger. I mean, Corbell has essentially accused Michael Schellenberger, allegedly, of being paid off. I made a video about it, link in the description. But 4th is the implication of that, right? Which is that Schellenberger and other people are involved, right? Basically to gain, right? I guess he's more talking about Congress, gain information from these people that come in and then shape the hearings the way that they want. Right. So it's like a trap, essentially, is what he's saying. And, doesn't know how he can trust the system moving forward. What's he going to do? Right. With this sort of situation, which, all right, that's fair. Here's another clip.
You don't sense any other higher influence on them or anything. You think it's.
No, I do.
Okay. Yeah.
Rep Burchett said it. Yeah. He was told not to say my name. They were told to erase me. He was told by, he said, the suits, which
means one thing, right?
No, they were intelligence folks that were there, that I was a security issue, and that's the light way of saying it. And he broke from the fold and grabbed, the second he had that fucking mic, he said the truth. He goes, thank me for bringing the documents and the whistleblowers, right?
Yep. Props to Burchett.
Oh yeah, he just went against the grain. And look, if some spooks came to me and said, that motherfucker's a security issue, don't say his fucking name, maybe I'd be like, okay, you make a good case. Burchett didn't give a fuck.
Wow.
Because he knew, because I was texting him the whole time, him and Luna. I was like, why? I was just asking, why'd they lie? That's such a stupid thing to lie about.
I saw those texts. I mean, I was sitting next to you, I saw some of that stuff. I mean, it was wild to see the back and forth of them being like, this is messed up.
Yeah. Oh, dude, they were told, they went up each. Burchett went up twice, and Luna went up one time to the dais. Like get a lip reader. I mean, they were like, this has been months in the planning, that this, chain of custody, we met the individual eye to eye. Like, why this? Why would you lie about this? The only thing I can think is the positioning of people that you're supposed to trust. And goddamn, that's dangerous as fuck now. If you're supposed to be about truth and transparency, and you're fighting for, the people that don't have voices, and you got this big persona, that's what you're supposed to do. And both of them had got that persona, then, man, you better cross your T's and dot your I's, and, mind your P's and Q's, if you want to use letter. I mean, you know what I mean? So yeah. I don't know, man, it was really disheartening to me. And I saw it as I still see it as very dangerous to incoming whistleblowers. I can never bring somebody back into accountability and oversight into Congress and say they want to tell you what they know, because I can't trust that system anymore. Like, if they're going to lie about that, I can never do that again. I have to find a different path, or make sure that the people that I bring in, whoever they're meeting with, that I can trust them.
Now, let's get to Dan Cleary, who is the host of this show. You can see him right here. People were wondering, how did he get on this show, right? Jeremy Corbell, how did he get Jeremy Corbell on, right? And really the gist of it is that he's friends with Dan Cleary, and he's apparently works with Jane's Addiction, and he's a guitar tech, and amongst other things, clearly. And he was actually at the hearing with Jeremy Corbell. People were wondering, who is this guy that he brought? You know, now you know, right? That's who it is. So that's why he's going on the show. And props to Jeremy for, you know, being loyal to his friend, you know, and vice versa. And clearly you can see in these pictures that were taken at the hearing, you can see Dan sitting right next to Jeremy Corbell. He's in the bottom right-hand corner of this picture right here in particular. See Dan Cleary. You got Leslie Keene, May Schellenberger, right? This is the moment where Jeremy Corbell, you know, confronted them about the documents, right? And there's Dan Cleary in the middle, Jeremy Corbell on the left, James Fox on the right, all sitting front row, right, watching this happen. And so, yeah, Jeremy Corbell goes on the show. There they are looking at Mace after they told her, hey, what's going on with that document? She's like, I'm out of here. I got a Kentucky Derby to go to. So anyway, that's who he is. And, you know, in case people were wondering and people were asking about it, you know, I saved the best for last, y'all. Right. There's one part in particular that I'm going to play before we get to the final clip. And that's something that I played in the first clip that you probably didn't catch, but it's this part right here.
The one that's coming is they're going to tell everybody, you know, just tell a little lie to protect somebody. That's the one that's coming. I'll explain that to you on another podcast.
So I found that to be quite interesting, to be honest with you, and pretty big news, because what's he talking about, right? He's talked about this alien threat that's coming. Again, I made a video about it in 2027, that they would tell that lie, right? Now he's talking about this protecting someone. Protecting who? They're going to tell a lie to protect someone? Are these two lies connected? Protect who? That's who I'm wondering about, right? So we got this mysterious person that's going to be protected. Is it this whistleblower that potentially could be coming out, right, that I mentioned earlier and that we're about to watch a clip about, right? I don't know, but I found that to be very interesting. Let me know what you think in the comments. All right, let's get to this last clip. Again, apparently this Immaculate Constellation whistleblower may be coming out soon.
At least for months, we've been prepping to get this document on congressional record, and it wouldn't be thrown out. It wouldn't be questioned. You get to meet the author eye to eye. Then you can judge. Then you can judge if what this guy's telling you is accurate information and not like passage material or some kind of psyop. But to get to that point, I needed the trust of the members. And members, by the way, when I say, hey, by the way, I have embedded somebody in my camera crew, and they're actually a first-hand whistleblower, whatever you consider first-hand.
Brilliant, by the way. People have kind of overlooked that you said that during the show, that you snuck somebody in with your film crew who is the author of the Immaculate Constellation.
Right. It wasn't so cloak and dagger. It was just like roll with us in, right? But then saying to these members, like, this is an unscheduled part of our meeting. Nobody else can be in the room. I'm saying this like Rep Luna. Nobody else can be in the room. Like, if you trust me, this is, you know, let's do this. I want you to meet somebody. And absolutely, without hesitation, to their great credit, Rep Luna, Rep Burchett, and at the time Rep Mace, they were like, let's go. Tell me, show me, what's up, right? So that was kind of neat to see that go down and to be able to be there for that kind of vetting and talking. And we said, please, keep this confidential. We don't know where this is going. Again, it hadn't gone out yet through Schellenberger's article about it all. Yeah. So
that was not out yet when
this is before the article came out. This was the behind the scenes shit, right? To try to get onto congressional record the statement of a witness or the witness themselves to talk. And the witness would have been willing, the whistleblower would have been willing to do it, didn't want to, he doesn't want to.
But as a duty.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing, as a feeling of real duty, beyond what I think people understand, Yeah, he thinks it's important, man. So, he'd be willing to do it. And I think
Wow.
you'll hear from him soon.
Jeremy.
So just saying, no, I can't predict the future for other people, but I'm just saying, I believe that you're going to be able to talk with this person on your own soon and judge it on merit. Again, it's a small part of the UFO puzzle, this one program, Immaculate Constellation, but it's really important.
So there you have it. We may be hearing from this mysterious whistleblower soon who wrote this report about a secret UFO program called Immaculate Constellation. We'll be waiting, and we'll cover it here first on Vetted as soon as this guy comes out, right? So again, link in the description. Go check out Dan Cleary's podcast, Others from Another Mother. Link in the description. Go check out this full interview with Jeremy Corbell. It was very good, actually. So I recommend going and checking it out. All right, we'll see you guys on the next video. Remember, every day's a gift, y'all. Peace.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep.